Hey class, today we have another grammar lesson for you, and what we're going to be learning about is a specific type of subordinating conjunction. Before we get into the specific type, I want to talk about subordinating conjunctions in general and give us a little bit of a refresher on how we can use them. So a subordinating conjunction is something that we could use when we want to combine a dependent clause with an independent clause. And the reason that we would do this is to show a relationship between those two clauses. So if we look at the two clauses we have here, we have because I have no money, and we have I'm not going to the concert. So with the two clauses we have here, one of these can exist on their own, and one of them cannot. We could say that this one that can exist in isolation, I'm not going to the concert, this would be our independent clause because it can exist without any help. Whereas our first one, because I have no money, this one is dependent on our first half. So we can't have because I have no money without other context. It needs to be connected with an independent clause. So in this sentence, if we put it together, we could take this and put it here. And now what we have is we have a cause and effect relationship inside of a two-clause sentence. I'm not going to the concert is our first idea. I have no money is our second idea, and we're connecting it with the word because, and this acts as a cause and effect signal. I have no money, so I cannot buy tickets, and I am not going to the concert. So that's our cause and effect relationship there. The specific type of subordinating conjunction that I would like to talk about today are ones that end with ever. So we have words like whatever, whoever, whichever, whenever, and all of these can be used as subordinating conjunctions that show a relationship between our two clauses. But adding this ever makes it very different from having just when or what. So if we look at our first pair of sentences here, we have Charles was happy when his friend found success. And in this sentence, we have our subordinating conjunction when, and we are connecting these two ideas of Charles was happy, his friend found success, and we're connecting this idea by saying that at the time when Charles's friend found success, Charles was happy. So that's how when connects these two ideas together. If we look at our second sentence, we again have our subordinating conjunction in the middle, but this time it's whenever. And now we're saying Charles is happy whenever his friends find success. So how are these different? First is we have a tense difference, of course. This is a single event, whereas this is in simple present, which means that Charles is always happy when this happens. But we have this idea of whenever, which means that it doesn't matter a specific time. It just matters that it happens. So if Charles's friends find success, Charles is happy. Whereas with our first one, it is a single event and the time matters. So if Charles' friend found success last Tuesday, then last Tuesday Charles was happy. Whereas this one is a constant thing. If Charles's friend finds success today, Charles is happy. If Charles's friend finds success tomorrow, Charles will be happy. So this whenever, it takes it from being a specific time to sort of any time. The time doesn't matter. With our second set here, students are learning at home where they can stay safe. So here we have our coordinating conjunction where, and in our second one, we have our coordinating conjunction at the beginning saying wherever they learn, students will work hard. So in our first sentence, the location matters very much. The location that they are studying is home, and we're saying that home is safe. So this idea of being at home, staying safe, they're connected, the location is important. With our second example here, wherever they learn, students will work hard. What we mean by this is that the location that they are in doesn't matter. If they are in a classroom, if they are at home, if they are in the library, if they are in Starbucks, it doesn't matter where they learn, the students are working hard, or the students will work hard. So when we have these subordinating conjunctions with ever, it takes it from the answer to that question of where, when, who, why, all those question words, the answer doesn't really matter anymore. It's taking the focus away from the answer to that question and putting it onto the other parts of our sentence. So this can be helpful when you're writing something and the question of where doesn't matter, or the question of who doesn't matter. Another time that you'll see this a lot is when you're talking about like a problem that needs to be solved. An example of a sentence with a problem that must be solved is in our textbook here on page 184. And we have a practice exercise up here where we want to match the sentence halves, where we have one half with a subordinating conjunction, and it's connecting to our other half over here. So we've got 1 through 7 trying to match with A through G. So if we look at our first one, whatever the source of the conflict, we have some sort of problem here. We have a conflict. And when we say whatever the source, we're saying it doesn't matter what caused the conflict. We're shifting focus away from that. So we need to find a sentence on the right here that would match with that idea of the cause of the conflict doesn't matter. And for this exercise, we could match that with D. A swift resolution must be found. So when we have this type of sentence, we're saying that there is a problem, there's a conflict, but we don't want to focus on what caused the conflict. We want to focus on the resolution to the conflict. So we're shifting focus away from blame, we're putting focus onto solutions. This can be very helpful when you're dealing with conflict at work, at school, with your friends or family, where you don't want to blame someone, you just want to find an answer. So for this exercise, we have 6 other half sentences, and I would like you to try and match these with the correct sentence halves on the right. So think about what is the subordinating conjunction with ever that is in this sentence. Based on the context, how does it fit with our half sentences on the right, and which ones can we put together to make a correct sentence? So I would like you to work on this for homework. If you have any questions, you can ask me about it, and I would be glad to help. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you all later. Bye.